Hi everyone, this is Garrett Ryan, and I'm making a video to talk to you about my movie Undertaking Red. Now I know in the last couple days I've been kind of putting a lot on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and basically any social media that I have to solicit you for cash. But I am happy to say that we have made over what we thought we're going to do with our budget, which is just fantastic, and I'm so happy and grateful to everyone who's donated to the project. You're making a dream of mine and my producer Darren Summersby's come true. We've been working on this film for just around 2 years now, and we both had the dream to make a movie for our whole lives, so once again, thank you so much to everyone who donated and to everyone who's putting their time in any way to help with this film. So what I thought I'd do is, instead of just keep posting things like, give us money, or we're making the movie, what is the movie? So this is going to be a video where I'm going to basically talk about what the whole Undertaking Red project is and what we're trying to accomplish with this film, what I'm trying to accomplish, what we've been working towards. So what is the movie? Basically, I'm really bad at describing movies, so you're going to have to bear with me. Without giving too much away, Undertaking Red mainly is the story of three different characters that somehow get intertwined with each other. And these characters are Red, who is played by my friend Nicholas Bogel, and Red is a kid who runs away from home. He has mild autism. He leaves his house basically because he just wants to get out. He's tired of everyone kind of talking down to him and treating him bad, so he leaves, and he kind of just does whatever he wants, and in doing so he ends up running into the second character that I'm going to talk about, which is the dealer, who is not his actual name. You'll notice in this movie, if you watch it, there's going to be a lot of characters that don't have names, some of which have a reason that they don't have names, some of which I'm not good at making up names, so there we are. Second character is the dealer, who's played by my friend Matt Lishman, and the dealer is probably the main character of the movie. The dealer is a drug dealer, as you can tell by his name. He's sort of a small-time drug dealer. He basically deals so that he can make a tiny little bit of money so he can keep surviving. He lives in a house that used to be occupied by a family, a mom, a dad, a brother. Something happened, they've all left him, and he's alone in this house, basically kind of just skimming by on the edge of existence, selling drugs to make ends meet. He has dropped out of high school. He is a teenager, but he does not attend high school anymore. He doesn't talk to many people of the outside world. He has a few friends. He kind of just does stuff. He has a really kind of sad, miserable life. He has a very bad drinking addiction, and some of this may or may not turn around when he meets Red. The third character I'm going to talk about is what puts the story in motion. At the beginning of the movie, the dealer ends up confronting a character called the buyer, who is buying drugs off him, as you can see by my brilliant writing of names. So this character is buying drugs off him. They end up getting into a little bit of a confrontation in which the dealer rips him off, takes his money. So this character of the buyer comes after them, and that's what makes the dealer in Red run off into this forest trail. One, with the purpose of the dealer getting Red home, and two, with the purpose of not getting killed by this big drug lord who is the buyer, which I'll talk about now. The buyer is a bigger drug dealer than the dealer. This is just such a convoluted story. The buyer sells hard drugs, methamphetamine, cocaine, drugs like that. He doesn't do them. He's not like that kind of guy. He sells them just to, as the dealer does, make ends meet, and maybe for some other reasons that you'll find out later in the film. The buyer is a really controlling and manipulative person. Everything that comes out of his mouth, more or less, is just a load of lies. I don't want to swear. The buyer just says things to get his way. He says things to manipulate the situation. He knows what he wants, and he knows what he wants to happen in this story of his life, and that's what he'll do. He'll say things to make that story happen. And throughout the movie, characters start to realize that some of the things he's saying may not be adding up, and they kind of see him for what he really is, which is just this kind of lost person who tries to manipulate life to be what he wants, and you'll kind of find out that maybe sometimes you can't do that. So those are the three main characters of the movie that I'm going to talk about. Overall, there are 6 characters, I believe, in the entire film, which do play a part, and a fairly substantial part, but these are the characters that set the plot in motion, and these are the main characters. So that's basically what the movie's about, if you could follow that convoluted mess of me explaining the story. So now I'm going to talk about some themes of the movie and what I'm really trying to accomplish as a director and not as a screenwriter. As a director, I really want to stick to the theme of, number one, I think one of the main themes is friendship. This movie takes place over 2 days, if we're talking about the main storyline. That gives 2 days for the dealer and Red to kind of meet and bond. That's not a lot of time. If you've ever met someone and known them for 2 days, you don't become instantly best friends. But this story kind of shows that maybe sometimes you can become really good friends and you can become really close depending on certain situations that you're in together. I know, for example, one of the things that I base this story off of, in the terms of friendship anyway, is I heard a story about 2 people that just met, and this is a personal story from one of my friends, so I don't want to be getting into it or saying too much of what happened in case you know what I'm talking about. These 2 people were in a dangerous situation, and they had only just met recently, and they ended up becoming really good friends and really close because of this situation. And that's sort of what I based the story off when writing it, and that's kind of what I want to explore in my directing. Another thing that I want to focus on, another theme, is that the mental well-being of the characters is not good in all the characters, but I'm going to talk about the 3 main ones again because I don't want to talk about any of the others just yet. The 3 main characters, Red, Dealer, and Buyer, all have these problems mentally. They're not sound individuals. They're not perfectly happy with what they are. None of them love who they are. Which, as I've said, is one of the reasons why Red left home in the first place. Red is dealing with all these issues, separation anxiety, feeling like no one will ever really love him, dealing with the fact that his brain does function differently with his autism, and all these sorts of things, which kind of plays off of the Buyer's issues, which is his intense feeling of loneliness. His family has left him. He's feeling like he is no good, and again, like Red, that no one will ever love him. He's feeling that his very existence is to ruin other people's lives, which is not a good thing to feel, and you'll see that kind of all come to the surface later in the movie. Then you have the Buyer, who, as I've said before, is the main antagonist of the movie, and the Buyer is also dealing with his own profound issues, which are, he may or may not be a sociopath, basically, and you'll see a lot of movies in which the villain is a non-emoting kind of stoic individual, where, for example, No Country for Old Men with, I can't remember the villain's name in that, but he's very non-expressive. He's brilliant villain, but just the way he talks is like, he's not, you can't see that he's human underneath. he's already too far gone. Like, he is this sociopathic individual. So what I wanted to explore is what happened in between that. Was he always like that, or was there a time, a transitional phase in which he was starting to come to the realization, oh no, this is what I am. I like killing people. I kill people because it brings joy to me, because it fulfills something in me. Was there ever that transitional phase in cinema villains where they said, oh no, this might be what I am? And definitely that's not the case for a lot of villains, but in this particular character, yes, it is, and he struggles with that very deeply throughout the movie. And as well as the fact that he is a compulsive liar, and it seems throughout the movie that he's sort of not even sure what's real anymore, because he's just spouting off all this bull. I don't want to swear again, but you know what I'm trying to say. So I should have said this before I realized as I was talking. The buyer is played by Jack Levesque, who I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, but I watched his audition tape, and I was blown away. He's going to be really great for the part. So I'm looking forward to meeting him, and I meant to say that earlier when I was talking about the characters. So now that I've basically talked a little bit about the movie and stuff like that, I'm going to say what this movie means to me. I said something like this on Instagram kind of a couple days ago, so those of you who have me on Instagram and actually bothered to read that big thing I put, good on you, and but I'm going to say it again. So those of you that know me are aware that my entire existence is there because of this cinema and the movies and films, which are all the same thing, so I don't know why I said those three. This is what I am, and this is what makes me up. Basically, all I do is watch movies, and I mean, you can see, if you could see my room right now, like you see in the background, I have a Django Unchained poster, Lord of the Rings. I got posters all over the place, and movies are my life, and they're pretty much all I think about. Constantly, I'm hammering out screenplays and thinking of screenplay ideas, and when I'm walking, I'm like, oh, there would be a cool camera shot here, or stuff like that. That's how my brain works, and that's how it's always worked, and it's because of movies that I am me, and I have this personality. So for me to be making a movie and actually putting something of my own creation on screen, it's just, like I said earlier, it's a dream come true for me. It is something that I was not sure if it would ever happen or not, and now that it is, I can't even believe it yet. So for everyone who donated, or for everyone who's believed in me in the process of this project for the last couple of years, thank you so much. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. This movie means so much to me, and I'm going to try to make it as good as possible. It's my first time directing, so don't be too hard on me, critics. But, like I said, it means so much to me. So, I think that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and that's just a little bit of insight into my movie and what's going to be happening with it, what it's all about and stuff. And I do want to put this out there right now, making a quick announcement. There will be a trailer up in the next few days. I apologize if you sat through my arm movements of this and this and this. This is how I talk on camera. I keep one arm up and I move because I get distracted like this. There will be a trailer coming up in the next couple days that we will be filming soon, and there'll be also some new posters for you to look at. I guess, I don't know what else you do with posters. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for filming, which is happening August 20th to the 23rd. If you ever want to help out, if you want to be on the crew, or if you want to be an extra, or anything like that, which we don't actually need much extras, but you know what, comment on this video, send me a message, anything you want. I am super grateful for anyone who wants to volunteer their time and help. I'm hoping to get this movie premiered at a couple film festivals, Cinefest in Sudbury, maybe some more local ones, maybe even as far as Toronto or farther will happen. We'll see how the movie turns out and what film festivals will take it and where I can make it. So thank you for watching again, and stay tuned for the trailer, stay tuned for the movie, and I'm Garrett Ryan, and bye. Now I have to get up and turn the camera off, because I don't feel like editing this. Okay, turning camera off.